Okay, so let's talk about the market and individual numbers as well. Ramdev Agarwal joins in to talk about Motilal Oswal's numbers and of course to give us a gist of how the markets will pan out from here. Ramdev, thanks so much for joining us. First, if you can take us through this quarter's performance. You've seen a 3% jump quarter on quarter in your revenues. Your EBITDA has grown as well, about 9% or so. How has the quarter been? And in terms of individual segments, what has the performance looked like?
Yeah, actually, this quarter was shaping up very kind of in a depressed way till about September, and 2.5 months were kind of pretty not comparable with last quarter. It was quite bad, and then I think all the market mood changed and turnover went up almost double in last 15-20 days. I think that has saved the kind of quarter, and year on year still we are a little lower, but sequentially it looks that things have stabilized, and we are now there to make about 20-22 crores, 25 crores kind of profit every quarter. So this quarter on the whole has been kind of steady. The brokerage income has been kind of flattish, 1 or 2% higher. Year on year, though, we are a little lower. So I would say that we are passing through the smallest size of quarters right now, and hopefully these are the worst quarters we have seen in last few years.
Ramdev, afternoon. What has been the experience in October so far? The kind of pickup that you alluded to in September, has that followed through in October?
Yeah, it was there till about first 3 weeks were pretty good, and then last week again we saw a little withdrawal symptom. So, but then I mean, these things keep happening. Overall, I think October is still good.
Tell us about the investment banking vertical. How has it been? Have you seen any kind of pickup over there, and what are you expecting to see in the follow-on quarters?
Yeah, investment banking has been very subdued in terms of deals are there. I mean, deal pipeline is very strong. In fact, the mandates are the strongest we have ever seen. But closure is very, very difficult, and the deals are not going through right now. But we hope that the kind of deal pipeline we have, and now with a little more better mood in the marketplace, in the second half we expect to close more deals and have better revenues from IB.
Have you seen any pickup in retail participation, Ramdev, in this rally, or is it still a mood of skepticism and people are not entering the market as we've seen from the global investors?
In fact, last 1 month has been distinctly better for the retail investing also, and we have seen that cash volume what we track had come down to as low as 7% of the market. I mean, at the peak it goes to as high as 30%. That had come down to 7% till the first week of September. That picked up to as high as 14%, and right now it's about 11-12%. So clearly the participation is somewhat better. We are seeing the fizz in some of the mid-cap stocks, and I think that is contributing to the current slightly better participation in the marketplace from retail side.
So since you are seeing better participation, and you did mention that cash volumes have picked up as well, in terms of sectors beyond this 5700 level, what are the sectors that you guys are recommending investments into? It's
not about a sector, but all the private sector banks, some of the consumer stocks, then now even cement stocks are doing very well. So media is doing very well. We have been recommending Z also. So I think it's a mix of consumer facing companies which we have seen doing well in last 2-3 years. So wherever because what is happening is sector wise things are not working out very well, but individual companies are doing well. So one is picking those companies which are doing well, and where earnings visibility is better, corporate governance is not so much in question. I think those are the companies where investment is happening.
What's your sense about the market now, Ramdev? Do you think we've passed through the worst, and what we've seen in September is a sign of a takeoff or a trend which will be in place for some more months?
I mean, market is very difficult to predict. At least I have not been good in trying to figure out the market, but As far as the earnings are concerned, this quarter is going to be very flattish. I mean, aggregate Sensex earnings are going to grow about 2-3%, and all companies put together maybe about 7-8% kind of thing. So there is not much of excitement on the earnings side, not only in this quarter, but next 2-3 quarters. There is no lever which can kind of change the earnings profile. As far as the liquidity is concerned, I think for global liquidity has been immense and has been surprisingly very strong. I mean, 7-8 months back at the beginning of the year to say that we would get $14-15 billion in first 9 months was almost impossible. So I think that has been the biggest surprising thing, and even more surprising has been the 40-45,000 crores worth of equity withdrawal from the domestic market. Despite the market having done so well, I think it is the best performing asset class today. 25% kind of return from January till date, and yet you have seen 45,000 crores redemption. So I think there are so many surprising things happening. To figure out how investors will behave, how the markets will behave, it's very tough. Only thing you can figure out is the specific company's earnings.
Some damage on two of those stocks, Mahindra Satyam and Tech Mahindra, as the Enforcement Directorate has frozen Satyam's fixed deposits in the fraud probe to the tune of almost about 822 crores, and you are seeing a direct impact on those stocks. Both those stocks are down almost about 2% or so. News coming in on the news wires at this point in time. Ramdev, just wanted your thoughts on the telecom sector and the regulatory issues that this sector has had to face. Again, there is an important meeting today where the spectrum refarming issue will be put on board as well, and this could have a really negative impact on many of these companies. How would you approach some of these incumbents like Bharti, etc.?
I think domestic telecom, the kind of things, the changes in the rules are happening. It is almost impossible to figure out what is going to be the final rule. So you cannot take a view unless you know who is in, what is the price, and who gets the spectrum, what is going to the competitive shape. So I mean, we have kind of stayed away from, at least I am finding it very difficult to figure out what will happen to the earnings profile of these companies in next 12 to 18 months. And once everything is settled, what they want to do with their spectrum pricing, who is going to be there in this next auction, whether there will be from 16 players it comes down to 6 players, or again from 6 it goes to 10-12 players, and who is the new entrant, whether foreigners they want to stay here or they want to quit. I think those things will take another 16 to 18 months, and then after that we can finally say whether one should invest or not. But right now it looks to be a lot of confusion out there.
Thanks, Ramdev, for that. Let's get some trading perspective as well. Sudarshan Sukhani and SP Tulsian is with us.